Oh, give me that.
I'm used to left preferred foot play,
Megged!
so she touched it with her right foot, and that scared me a little bit. Oh!
Keep going. Oh, oh. That was so nasty.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'll just take it all away. That's it.
Let's go. Give me that one. Got me. Ooh.
Yeah, whatever. Just run.
Holy. Oh, you got it. Oh, was that the LBRB?
Yes! That was insane. I don't care. Ooh. Oh.
No way.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Uh-oh. No way!
Oh, would have been so nasty.
That's crazy.
What's up, guys? This is Lesky, back to another pro player build for FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. Today I have for y'all a Vinicius Jr. winger build, and if y'all have seen my Thiago build that I posted before this one, then y'all will know what I'm about to talk about. A couple weeks ago on my community page, I posted 2 polls asking you guys to vote on one of 4 players, both from Real Madrid and Liverpool, and that's based on the Champions League final that's coming this Saturday. So we're going to be looking at this Real Madrid poll, and Vinicius Jr. won that with 55% of the votes. Over 50% of the votes went to Vini Jr., so that's why we're going to be looking at the build today. And I'm not really surprised about that vote, mostly because we don't have Benzema and Modric there, because I've already posted their builds on my channel. So if y'all are interested in that and haven't seen those builds, go ahead and check that out. And don't worry for the people that want to see like a Camavinga, Casemiro, or a Valverde build. I'll try and get to those builds later on as I'm pumping out more build videos. And if Real Madrid actually win the Champions League final, I'll post another poll with those 3 players and then maybe 1 or 2 more players from Real Madrid that y'all can vote on, and I'll post a build video based on the winner of that vote. So let's get started and take a look at this Vinicius Jr. winger build. Taking a look at the height and weight for this Vinicius Jr. build, I decided to go for 5'8", 119 pounds. He's listed at 5'9" on FIFA. I could have went like 5'9" exactly or 5'10". You can be an inch taller and have the exact same stats. So there's really no point in going for 5'9". But the reason I didn't go for one of these is because of the pace mostly. Like his base gold card has 95 pace, 95 acceleration, and 95 sprint speed. And at 5'8", we get 93 pace, but it's actually like 94 acceleration and 93 sprint speed. So even 5'8" in the lowest weight possible, we still can't match his pace. If we wanted to be that fast, we would have to be like 5'6" or 5'4", which is just not realistic to his body type. So that's the reason I went for 5'8", just for that extra pace mostly. And then 119 pounds will get us the most pace possible. So you're going to go to the lowest weight section. And he has a lean body type on FIFA. So this is what will give us that lean body type also. And then he is right-footed, so that's why we're right-footed for this build. Let's go to the perk page. Vinicius Jr. has a lot of cards on Ultimate Team this year that I can look at when making this build. He has his base card, an 83 rated, 85, 86, 87, 89, and then his 96 rated card that he got for making the Team of the Season for La Liga. So I'll be looking at a lot of those cards, a mixture of those when making this build, depending on the category. So for the first perk on this build, I decided to go for Tireless Runner. Wingers have very bad stamina to start out with as their base stat. So I believe we have around like 70, 73 stamina for this winger build. So the Tireless Runner will just grant you the second win trait, which will boost your stamina once the 75th minute hits in every single match, which is very nice. And his base gold card has 80 stamina. So like his lowest rated card already has more stamina than we have on the skill tree. So the Tireless Runner is really necessary for this build. It will help out a lot. And then for the second perk, I went for Active First Touch. It'll increase our ball control, but mostly for that acceleration and sprint speed boost. Like when you get a ball played to you, you'll have a boost of acceleration and sprint speed. And like when you're running onto a through ball and behind, it'll boost your acceleration and sprint speed, which is nice. And as I mentioned already, we have like 94 acceleration and 93 sprint speed. And his base gold card has 95 pace. And then like almost every other card after that, I believe once he hits the 86 rated card and higher, he already has max pace, 99 acceleration and sprint speed. So the boost in pace when you're running on to a through ball or getting a ball played to you will make up for not having that pace that he has, and it'll probably boost us to almost like 99 pace when you are chasing a through ball and behind. So that's very nice. It'll also grant us the flare trait, and he has the flare trait on his cards, so that's pretty cool. You can do like fancy one-time passes and flicks with the flare trait on active first touch. And then the third perk, this one you can switch out. I would definitely keep these two on this build. I've tried multiple things. I've tried assist streak, I've tried pinpoint cross, which is what I have now. I've tried the threaded pass. I think those are the three that I really tried on this build, but it kind of depends how your team plays and what builds your team is using. Like if you have a bigger striker up top and you're playing out wide on the wing, then I think pinpoint cross is the way to go. But if you don't really have a bigger striker, maybe you could try assist streak or the threaded pass if you want to like help through ball your striker in behind or whatever it may be, and go for that. You can even go precision pass if you want distant shooter. He's not really known for his long shots, so I don't know if that really fits, but you can go for that. Also, maybe set piece specialist. I don't know. You kind of have some options for this last perk, but I do think pinpoint cross is the best, especially if you have a player up top at striker that is good in the air. It'll be very good. The pinpoint cross perk is OP for a winger build. So these are the three perks that I have for this Vinicius Jr. build. Let's take a look at the skill tree. I almost forgot to mention, but I posted a poll on my community page after I figured out that Vinicius Jr. was going to win the vote. And I asked you guys which you would rather have on this build, the Maestro archetype or the Finisher archetype. The Maestro increasing the dribbling and bulk troll, and the Finisher archetype increasing a lot of the shooting attributes. And the majority of y'all that voted chose the Maestro archetype to get that basically max dribbling for a winger build, which he's known for his dribbling mostly, so it makes sense that a lot of you guys voted for that. So for this build, I'm going to be showing you guys the Maestro archetype, and then I might show you guys some alternatives, and then I'll even, for the people that want the Finisher archetype, I'll show you what you can do to get the Finisher, because I did use this build a little bit with the Finisher archetype. I mostly used it with the Maestro, but I did try it out a bit with the Finisher just to have some increase in shooting abilities if you guys want that. So I only have a couple of things on this physical page. We got this stamina upgrade right here, and then this +4 reactions for 2 skill points to get it to 87. Winger builds have very poor physical stats to start out with when it comes to strength mostly, and that stamina. I don't know why they start the stamina so low. I get the strength a little bit. I still don't think it should be this low, but I get it a bit. But stamina makes no sense to me, really. Even if you go up in height and weight and change the body type a bit, like I believe you still have the same stamina. It doesn't change. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I checked that a while ago and noticed that it doesn't affect the stamina at all, which I find kind of weird. But he has 80 stamina on his gold card, so even his lowest rated card already has more stamina than us, which is why we're going to be going for that Tireless Runner perk. It's why you need it. You're definitely not going to want to take that off. And then he has 62 strength. We have 53. It's possible to get this extra stamina right here and strength. We'll just have to take some things off on the build if you want this upgrade in stamina. And my teammate, for the most part, when he was using this build, he's the other girl character that I'm playing with. His character's name is Grace. So in a lot of the clips, you'll see him using this build. But I think he was using this upgrade in stamina and strength on the build. But when I used it, I really didn't notice much difference in the +3 stamina. So I decided to put those 3 skill points elsewhere when I was using this build. But if you want it, I'll show you guys in a bit what you could do to get that extra stamina. So let's take a look at the dribbling page. Vinicius Jr. is mostly known for his pace and his dribbling ability. So we went for some crazy upgrades on the dribbling page. As I said, we got the Maestro archetype on this build, and then we even got the Lynx archetype, and we have the 5-star skills. He has 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot, so that's what we went for. And what you're going to do is basically just go all the way down to the skills, go down to the Lynx archetype, and then we're going to get this agility, because he has a lot of agility. He has more agility than balance on his cards. Looking at his base gold card, he has 94 agility and 81 balance. The most we can get it as a 5'8", 119-pound winger is 93 agility. And then we have one less balance than what he has. We have 80. You could possibly, if you want, get this +3 balance to get it to 83, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference, and you're not going to notice it really. So I decided not to do that and just spread skill points around elsewhere. And then on the left side, you're going to go all the way down to the skills and the Maestro archetype. It'll give us +7 dribbling and +5 ball control for 10 skill points to get us to 99 dribbling, which is very nice. And then the last thing is this ball control right here, +2 ball control for 1 skill point to get us to 90. And remember, we have the active first touch on this build, which will actually increase the ball control. So it's actually a bit higher than what you see here. But let's take a look at passing. The only thing that we have on this passing page is this +2 crossing for 2 skill points to get us up to 84 crossing for this build. And just looking at the rest of the passing stats, they're pretty decent. They're not terrible, but they're not like great. We have 76 vision, 84 crossing, 72 long pass, 82 short pass, and 79 curve. So now is probably a good time to give you all some alternatives if you don't want this crossing right here, which is not going to make a huge difference, especially if you have the crossing perk on. It'll be completely fine. And you'll have to take off this ball control, this +2 ball control for 1 skill point. And then you have 3 skill points to work with. You can go back to the physical page. If you want the extra stamina and strength right here, you could put those 3 skill points right there. I've tried that. And I also tried the balance, the +3 balance for 3 skill points to get the dribbling a little bit better. That's basically what you can do with those extra 3 skill points. But I started using this extra ball control and this extra crossing towards the end of my games with this build. And you really can't notice much of a difference whichever way you put these 3 skill points. It's really up to you. Do you want the stamina? Do you want the balance? Do you want the extra ball control and crossing right here? Up to you. You're not going to notice much. So that's your alternatives. Let's take a look at shooting. And here I went for the 4-star weak foot that he has. And then on this right side, I got this long shots and shot power and finishing and volleys. It's good value, 6 skill points for all these upgrades, and same here for the finishing and volleys. And then get that 4-star weak foot, make sure you have that. And then for shot power upgrades, we just got this +3 for 3 skill points, and then another +3 for 3 skill points to get us up to 72. He has 73 shot power on his base gold card, so we're 1 less than that, but this is pretty much the highest we can get it unless we go for the finisher archetype, which is what I'll show you guys. If you want to take off the Maestro and get the finisher archetype to boost the shooting attributes, I'll show you guys that after I finish the pace page, so stay tuned for that. But this is the downside going for the Maestro archetype. The shooting stats aren't going to be as good, which is not as important if you're actually going to be playing out wide as a winger and you already have a striker and a cam on your team. Then you might not have like a ton of shooting chances, but you will have some chances to finish and score with this build, and it might let it down a bit, but you can still score with the shooting stats. It's just not going to be nearly as good compared to the finisher archetype. So let's take a look at pace page. So you're going to go for the max pace here to try and get as close as possible to Vinicius's pace on his gold card. He has 95 pace. Like I said, we went for 5'8" to try and match that pace a little bit more. But remember that we do have the active first touch on this build to boost the acceleration and sprint speed a little bit more in certain situations. So that is clutch. So now let's go into what you could do if you want the finisher archetype on this build instead of the Maestro. So let's go to the dribbling page, take off the Maestro archetype, and then the first thing you're going to do here is, because we took off the Maestro, you see a big split in the dribbling and ball control. We're going to want to bump that ball control up a little bit closer to that dribbling. So make sure you get this balance right here, this +2 balance for 1 skill point. And then we're going to start on this right side, get this +3 ball control, and then this skill moves right here to keep the 5-star skills, and it'll bounce it out a little bit more. 88 ball control and 89 dribbling. But to make up for not having the Maestro archetype, make sure you have the Skill Dribbler perk on this build. You're going to have to take off that third perk, whatever you're going to use. You're going to have to take it off. Like I have the Pinpoint Cross. You're going to have to replace it with Skill Dribbler to boost the dribbling stat even more, to make up for not having that 99 dribbling. And the Skill Dribbler will probably upgrade it to about 99 dribbling. When I was using both of the builds, it felt pretty similar on the ball. Could not tell much of a difference at all. So that is very clutch. Make sure you get the Skill Dribbler. And then we're going to go back to the shooting page. We have 10 skill points, but as you can see, it'll be 13 with this volleys right here. So we're going to have to take off this shot power and penalties. And then we'll get the 13 skill points to get the finisher archetype. And it'll make our shooting stats a lot better, and you'll be a lot more comfortable in front of goal, finishing off your chances. We'll have 83 finishing, 74 shot power, 86 long shots, and 88 volleys. So that's what you're going to have to do if you want to try the finisher archetype on this build instead of Maestro. Make sure to put that Skill Dribbler perk on and change what I did on the dribbling page. And then you have this +2 crossing. You can keep it, or you can put it to +2 short pass if you'd like for 1 skill point. And then you have 1 skill point to put somewhere, and you would have to just put it on the strength to bump up the strength a bit more. So you could either do that or just keep the crossing like I had. But I'm going to put it back now to what I had with the Maestro archetype. Put all this stuff back. Get the skill moves and the Maestro, and then the last skill point will be on the bulk troll. And that will do it for this Vinicius Jr. winger build. If you haven't already, make sure to check out that Thiago center mid build that I posted before this video. And if you try this build out, let me know how you like it in the comments. If you tried it with the Maestro or the finisher or both, let me know which one you prefer. I'd love to hear that. Hit that like button on this video and hit that subscribe button on my channel if you haven't already. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's day, and peace out.